Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Sports 360 Degree, where we bring you the biggest stories from the world of sports. India continues its remarkable journey in Test cricket, standing tall as a global powerhouse with their sights set on the World Test Championship final. With just few series left in the current cycle, India leads the pack, but Australia, Sri Lanka, South Africa are all vying for a spot in the grand finale. Shifting gears to football, the Champions League delivered some of the thrilling results this week. Liverpool cruised through their fixture while Juventus mounted a remarkable comeback. Meanwhile, heavyweights Bayern Munich and Real Madrid suffered unexpected setbacks, and Barcelona showed their dominance with a commanding 5-0 win over Young Boys. And in a landmark ruling, the European Union's top court has declared FIFA's transfer rules violate European Union's laws. But first up, the course you are tracking this week. India's journey in Test cricket has been a remarkable transformation, evolving from a team that often struggled to win, becoming a global powerhouse. More than 90 years after their first Test match at Lord's in 1932, India now boasts more victories than losses, marking a major milestone in their cricketing history. This rise, driven by iconic players like Sachin Tendulkar, MS Dhoni and Virat Kohli, has reshaped Indian cricket both on and off the field. From the humble beginnings, India has emerged as a dominant force, ready to take on any challenge in the world cricket. More in this report. In early days, India's journey in Test cricket began in 1932, but victories were hard to come by. Before Sachin Tendulkar's debut in 1989, India had won just 43 Test matches and lost over twice that number. Draws were often seen as moral victories, especially in tough overseas conditions. India lacked the aggression and self-belief needed to dominate the international cricket. The Tendulkar era. With the arrival of Tendulkar, India's fortune started to change. Between 1989 and his retirement in 2013, India recorded 78 wins and 60 losses in 217 matches. However, draws were still common, particularly in challenging overseas conditions. Only 7 victories came in South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and England, in Sena countries. Despite this, the groundwork was laid for the future success. Tendulkar's supporting cast included legends like Rahul Dravid, Sourav Ganguly, Anil Kumble, and MS Dhoni. Ganguly and Dhoni influence. Sourav Ganguly's leadership further propelled India's rise. He backed players from non-traditional cricket centres, breaking the long-held dominance of major cities like Mumbai and Delhi. MS Dhoni continued this trend, further expanding India's talent pool. Indian cricket also became more aggressive, with a focus on playing to win abroad. Kohli's revolution and aggressive mindset. The era of Virat Kohli marked a turning point in India's approach to Test cricket. Kohli, who captained India in 68 Test matches, brought a fiercely aggressive attitude to the game. He was not interested in draws, recording just 16% draws under his captaincy, the lowest among the top captains. Kohli's mindset transformed the team, leading to historic series victories, including back-to-back wins in Australia. Players like Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, and Ravichandran Ashwin thrived under his leadership. Rise of fast bowlers. India's transformation wasn't limited to batting. Fast bowlers like Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Umesh Yadav redefined India's bowling attack. Historically, India struggled against pace, but changes in domestic cricket helped. The BCCI instructed curators to prepare grassier pitches, which encouraged fast bowling and prepared Indian batters to handle pace. This move resulted in discovery of fast bowling group that could compete with the best in the world. New generation: Pant, Bumrah, and Gill. With Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma nearing the end of their careers, a new generation has stepped up. Players like Rishabh Pant, Shubman Gill, and Yashasvi Jaiswal have shown their potential. India's fast bowling depth remains strong, and the team continues to evolve. The mindset of aggression and belief established by Kohli is now core of the Indian Test cricket. Statistical milestone and looking forward. In October 2023, India's Test wins 179 surpassed losses, that is 178 for the first time in the history. This is a significant milestone in India's transformation into a Test powerhouse. As the team heads to Australia for the 5 Test in November 2024, the pressure is now on Australia. Indian cricket, once seen as a timid in overseas conditions, is now a force to be reckoned with across the world. The Tendulkar generation laid foundation, while Kohli and Rohit Sharma built the legacy. The future promises even more success. Narayan Singh's report for DD India. So now India is a powerhouse in the Test cricket, as they showed in the Test match against Bangladesh. Now moving to other story, the ongoing cycle of the World Test Championship 2023-25 is heading towards its business end, having a couple of bilateral series remaining. At this point in time, only 5 have the realistic chance of reaching the final. India are sitting at the top of the World Test Championship points table and are overwhelming favourites to make the final. Australia are second on the points table, but Sri Lanka, South Africa and New Zealand are also very much in contention. Let's find out where the teams currently stand and what must happen for each team to qualify for the WTC final.
The race for a spot in the third edition of World Test Championship final at Lord's in June 2025 is heating up, with 26 tests still left to be played spread across 10 series. Table toppers India consolidated their top position with a 2-0 drubbing over visiting Bangladesh team, while Sri Lanka made big strides to their standing, moving away from the rest of the pack and breathing down Australia's neck. West Indies are the only team that is outside of contention, and here's how the things stand for the remaining sides after India's 7-wicket win in Kanpur. Let's take a look at the team which have realistic chance of playing the World Test Championships final. The remarkable win in Kanpur has meant India's mission for a 5-0 clean sweep for the home season 2024-25 is still very much on, which is something that would give them sufficient leg space for the tour down under. Should India beat New Zealand 3-0 in the upcoming series, a draw in Australia is enough for India to get 60 PCT, which should confirm a top 2 finish in most scenarios. A 3-0 win against New Zealand, followed by even a 1-4 defeat against Australia, should be enough for Rohit Sharma's men for a ticket to Lord's, provided South Africa drop points in at least one of their 6 remaining tests, as the only one of Australia or Sri Lanka can go past India's tally. Sri Lanka have climbed the charts with 3 back-to-back wins against England and New Zealand and have 4 matches still left. Wins in all 4 will take them to 69.23 PCT, which can only be crossed by the winner of Border Gavaskar Trophy and should seal them a top 2 finish. If Sri Lanka extended their current winning run to 5 tests later this year in South Africa and draw 1-1 against Australia at home, they will end with 61.11 PCT. Then Australia would need to win by a series margin of 3-1 or better against India to surpass Sri Lanka's tally. Australia, who have been fence-sitting and watching the proceedings, having played their last test mid of March, currently sit at second space sandwiched between India and Sri Lanka. The two teams, they are left to face this cycle and are direct contenders for the final spot. Australia will require at least 4 wins from their last 7 matches to keep their PCT above 60%. If India beat New Zealand 3-0, Sri Lanka win at least 1 test in South Africa, and Australia lose 0-2 in Sri Lanka, then Australia would need to beat India by 5-0 or 4-0 margin to secure a top 2 finish. Sports Desk, DD India.
Now talking about the first T20 between India and Bangladesh. The India versus Bangladesh T20 series will kickstart on Sunday in Gwalior. After a thumping series win in the Test series against Bangladesh, the home side will be looking to have a good outing in the limited over series. India and Bangladesh will have their own priorities in their 3-match series starting on Sunday. While India have rested their key players, the ones on the fringes will look to establish themselves as a backups and will also keen to increase their IPL value. Apart from the fans and selectors, the 3 IPL franchisees, Lucknow Super Giants, Kolkata Knight Riders and Sunrisers Hyderabad, will especially keep an eye on this series. The reason being, this is India's last T20 series before the IPL teams have to name their retentions. Suryakumar Yadav led India to a 3-0 series win in Sri Lanka recently. However, India will miss key players like Shubman Gill, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Mohammad Siraj and Akshar Patel. Bangladesh, on the other hand, bring a balanced squad featuring stars like Liton, Najmul, Hossein Shanto and Mustafizur Rahman and Taskin Ahmad. But their recent form has been shaky. They lost 3 consecutive T20s, including a defeat against Afghanistan, while chasing just 116 in the T20 World Cup. This series marks the first T20 since the loss. Meanwhile, international cricket returns to Gwalior after 14 years. The first T20 will be played at the newly built Srimad Madharas India Stadium. The last international match in the Gwalior was in 2010 when Sachin Tendulkar made history with the first ever double hundred in ODIs against South Africa at the Captain Roop Singh Stadium. India may lack their T20 legends, but the field some of the best T20 cricketers in the world, and Bangladesh face a tough challenge as they aim to bounce back from the recent struggles. Now talking about the Mayank Yadav, and he is the comeback man and who has been the talk of the town late after a prolonged injury layoff. Yadav has been cleared by VVS Lakshman, head of the National Cricket Academy, and we are hoping that he will play a crucial role in India's weekend in the T20 series against Bangladesh.
Announced, the highlight of the selection was the inclusion of several genuine stars from the IPL who are finally getting their well-deserved opportunities. Notable inclusions were the return of Varun Chakravarti to the squad, along with the exciting newcomers Harshit Rana and Mayank Yadav. 21-year-old Mayank Yadav's selection comes after months of recovery from a recurring abdominal strain that had sidelined him since the IPL. Mayank thrilled everyone with his raw pace during IPL 2024 season. Despite playing only 4 matches, Mayank made a huge impression with his raw pace, regularly clocking speeds of 150 to 155 km per hour for the Lucknow Super Giants, earning back-to-back Player of the Match awards that captured global attention. Mayank picked up 7 wickets before his season was cut short due to injuries. His debut against Punjab Kings saw him take 3 for 27, with his overall tournament economy rate standing at 6.99. Earlier, former South African cricketer Jonty Rhodes hailed Mayank, comparing him to legendary fast bowler Alan Donald. The Indian team management had seemingly seen enough of the pacer and gave him a fast bowler contract, and even put him in a special program at the National Cricket Academy to get him ready for the Bangladesh series. Following an impressive recovery from injury, Mayank has been bowling 14 to 15 overs daily at the National Cricket Academy. The upcoming Bangladesh series presents a crucial opportunity for the National Selection Committee and head coach Gautam Gambhir to evaluate his international level performance. Initially, his workload will be limited to 4 overs, but if he responds well physically, he will be gradually introduced to longer formats. With his immense potential, he is viewed as a valuable asset for Indian cricket's future. Sports Desk, DD India.
Meanwhile, Indian cricket governing body BCCI inaugurated its new state-of-the-art National Cricket Academy, which will be known as the Centre of Excellence on the outskirts of Bengaluru. BCCI President Roger Binney and the Secretary Jay Shah unveiled the facility to the office bearers, which, when fully functional from the early 2025, will take over as the board's primary centre for training, sports science, rehabilitation and injury management. The operations from the existing NCA premises at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium are to be expected to be shifted out in the phased manner, spanning over 40 acres of land in the Bengaluru. The BCCI Centre of Excellence features 3 world-class grounds and 86 pitches, including both indoor and outdoor areas. It also has 45 outdoor net pitches for practice, all separated by safety nets and sourced from the UK. And with a sports science and the medicine facility, it will be open to leading Indian Olympians, contributing to the overall growth of the Indian sports ecosystem. Now shifting focus to football, European Union's top court of justice of the European Union on Friday said that the transfer rules of the world soccer's governing body FIFA go against the European Union law in a ruling on a high-profile case linked to former France player Lassana Diarra, citing the blocks-free movement principle. Diarra has claimed that FIFA's transfer rules had blocked him from moving to a new club after his contract was terminated by Lokomotiv Moscow in 2014. FIFA's regulations on the status and transfer of players say a player who terminates a contract before its term without its cause is liable to pay compensation to the club, and where the player joins a new club, they will also joined and severely liable for the payment of compensation. Meanwhile, French footballer Antoine Griezmann announces his international retirement on Monday. The Atletico Madrid forward has played 137 matches for the France and has 44 goals to his name. Griezmann played in 6 major tournaments for the France, including a leading role in their 2018 World Cup victory as well as their run to the 2022 final in Qatar. Griezmann also won the 2021 UEFA Nations League title when the France defeated Spain 2-1 in the summit clash. Now some action from the UEFA Champions League. The first half penalty earned Lille a shocking 1-0 home victory over holder Real Madrid in the Champions League group phase on Wednesday, ending Real's 14-game unbeaten run in the competition. Jonathan David converted a penalty 3 minutes into the first half stoppage time to hand Real its first defeat since January. Real had not lost a single match in their previous 36 matches in all competitions. The result put La Liga League One side Lille on 3 points from the 2 games in the new European format, and Real won its opening match against Stuttgart and currently has 3 points. Barcelona thrashed Young Boys 5-0 in a one-sided affair in the Champions League. Star striker Robert Lewandowski scored twice along with goals from Rafinha, Inigo Martinez and own goal from were enough to seal the deal for the home side. Rafinha's stunning performance throughout of the game earned him Player of the Match award as the Brazilian registered a goal and an assist. The Swiss side failed to provide anything productive except for a goal that was ruled out due to offside. The massive 5-0 victory has boosted the goal difference for Barcelona, which can be pivotal during the final stages of the league stage. Meanwhile, Manchester City routed Slovan Bratislava 4-0 for the first victory of the Champions League, with goals from the Ike Gundogan, Phil Foden, Erling Haaland and James McAtee. Winners of the 2023 Champions League, Man City have 4 points after 2 games, having opened the season's campaign with a goalless draw with Inter Milan. Slovan's loss comes on the heels of a 5-1 thrashing by Celtic. The Premier League champions parked themselves in the Slovans' half and peppered the home side with shots all night. English club Arsenal remain unbeaten in the Champions League this season after cruising to a 2-0 win over Paris Saint-Germain at the Emirates. Kai Havertz headed the opening goal from Lisandro Trossard's 20th minute cross, but goal was credited to a mistake by Donnarumma, who misjudged Trossard's delivery and collided with Havertz as the Germany international headed into an empty net. Bukayo Saka's 35th minute free kick easily beat Donnarumma at his near post when 4 players failed to connect the ball as it flew towards the goal to seal the deal for the English club Arsenal. Meanwhile, Argentine forward Lionel Messi helped Inter Miami win the MLS Supporters' Shield for the first time, beating Columbus Crew 3-2. The Argentina playmaker opened the scoring with a close-range finish and doubled the away side's lead in the first half stoppage time with a sublime free kick. Miami's victory means the club will finish top of the table and have won the Supporters' Shield, which is given to the MLS club with the best regular season record for the first time since they debuted in 2020. The trophy is Messi's 46th piece of silverware in his glittering career for the club and country. Meanwhile, the Court of Arbitration for Sports on Friday cut short the French player Paul Pogba's doping suspension to 18 months from an initial 4 years. The France international was provisionally suspended by Italy's national anti-doping organization NADO Italia in September 2023 after testing positive for the DHEA, a banned substance that raises the levels of testosterone. The 31-year-old Pogba, who has contract with Italy's Juventus until June 2026, denied any wrongdoing and said in February he would appeal to CAS, Court of Arbitration for Sports. Cameroon Football Federation chief Samuel Eto'o has been banned from attending the national team's matches for 6 months after violating the FIFA disciplinary regulations. The former Barcelona striker has been president of the federation since 2021 and will now be barred from all men's and women's games across various age groups. FIFA said in a statement that the sanction was imposed in connection with the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup round of 16 match between Brazil and Cameroon played in Bogota, Colombia on 11 September 2024. Details regarding the incident were not disclosed by FIFA's disciplinary committee. Now it's time for some domestic action. Hockey India League set to return this year after a break of 7 long years. The league is scheduled to start from last week of December 2024 and will go on till February 2025. This marks the first time that the event will be featuring teams from both men's and women's categories. Take a look at this report from Suchitra.
After 7 years, the Hockey India League is set to make a comeback. This time, the league will appear in a new avatar, featuring both men's and women's categories. 10 franchisee owners are associated with the league, with 8 teams in the men's league and 6 teams in the women's league. Hockey India President Dilip Turki stated that this league will increase the number of hockey fans in India.
कुछ सालों में जो जीत मिली है, बैक टू बैक ब्रॉन्ज मेडल जीतना, अच्छे टीम को हराना, किसी भी टीम के साथ फाइट करना, जीत करने का जो कॉन्फिडेंस है, जो हासिल हुआ है, तो फैंस में अभी उछाल आया है. अभी फैंस और भी मैच देखना चाह रहे हैं, अभी और एक्साइटिंग मैच देखना चाहे. तो हॉकी इंडिया लीग भी हर एक टीम्स काफ़ी टफ होंगे, काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग साइड होगी, तो फैंस डेफिनेटली एंजॉय करेंगे.
The FIH has reserved a 35-day window in the international hockey calendar for the Hockey India League, allowing international players to participate as well. The start of the Women's League will bring significant changes to women's hockey.
Women's team that really excites me. I think this league is going to do wonders for the women. I think women in sport, especially in India, need platforms like this. And, you know, at JSW, we've always promoted our women, and this is the time now. We're looking forward in LA for the women's team's turn to win their medal.
Truly believe with the success of Indian hockey over the last few years, this is going to be something special, and we're very excited to be part of it. You know, women's sports is on the rise in India at a faster pace than men's, so that's why we were very keen on buying both the men's and women's.
The matches of the Hockey India League will be held in Rourkela and Ranchi, with the men's league taking place in Rourkela and the women's league in Ranchi. The player auction for the league will be held in Delhi a few days later. Suchitra Bharadwaj's report for DD India.
The Indian Army, in collaboration with the Sports Authority of India, hosted Army Sports Conclave 2024 at the Manekshaw Center in New Delhi. The event focused on the role and initiatives taken by the Indian Army to shape India's sports ecosystem and make India a global sporting powerhouse. Take a look at this report.
The Indian Army has long been a key contributor to India's sporting success. Known for its discipline, physical endurance, and leadership, Indian Army has produced numerous elite athletes. Continuing this tradition, the Indian Army organized the Army Sports Conclave on Monday at Manekshaw Center in New Delhi. The event was graced by India's Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, veteran shooter and Sports Minister of Rajasthan, Colonel Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore, and Chief of Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, along with several senior officers of the Indian Army. The conclave was focused on India's bid to host the 2036 Olympics, stressing collaboration with stakeholders to boost sports infrastructure. On this occasion, Union Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia highlighted the importance of nurturing skilled coaches to transform India into a sporting powerhouse.
मैं देख रहा हूँ हमारे स्पोर्ट्समैन को तो मेडल जीत के आते हैं तो उसको बहुत सम्मान दिया जाता है, लेकिन उसके पीछे जिन्होंने शक्ति लगाई है, ऐसे कोच का क्या, उसको कैसे हम सम्मान दे पाए? आज की कॉन्क्लेव में मैं मानता हूं कि मुझे ये रोड मैप के लिए आप मुझे कैसे सुझाव दे सकते हो, मैं उसके बाद तुरंत ही तय कर रहा हूं. 5 हमें 2036 में 10 क्रम पे आना है. और हम जब होस्ट करते हैं ओलंपिक्स, तब मेरा देश का परफॉर्मेंस स्पोर्ट्स में बेस्ट होना चाहिए। उसके लिए हमें प्लानिंग करना है, एक बार पहले कोच बनाना है, कोच निर्माण करना। अच्छा कोच देश में आ जाएंगे तो अच्छे प्लेयर बना देंगे।
Veteran shooter and Rajasthan Sports Minister Colonel Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore acknowledged the Indian Army's vital role in producing top-tier athletes.
जब मिशन ओलंपिक एक तरह से मिशन के रूप में भारतीय सेना ने लिया, तो उससे बहुत बेहतरीन नतीजे आए भारत के लिए। सेना के अंदर खेल, फिटनेस, मुकाबला हर रोज का काम। तो ये बड़ी स्वाभाविक सी बात हो जाती है कि भारतीय सेना नेचुरली इंक्लाइंड रहती है न केवल सेना के लिए बल्कि देश के लिए पदक जीतने के लिए, तिरंगा लहराने के लिए।
By bringing together key figures from sports and the armed forces, these events help chart a strategic path forward. Besides, such conclaves are vital for uniting key stakeholders to strengthen sports infrastructure and drive India's Olympic aspirations, giving Indian sports a path to global excellence. Sports Desk, DD India.
So that's all in this edition of the Sports 360 Degree. Until we meet again, keep cheering your favorite athletes and teams. Namaskar.